The Gerresheimer Wilden Company in Germany's Black Forest is one of the biggest European manufacturers of plastic oral hygiene products. They're best known for their toothbrushes, which are manufactured for many well-known brands around the world. An item as simple as a toothbrush involves an astonishing amount of technology. Confronted with serious corrosion in their cooling circuits, the company's engineers were prepared to test the effectiveness of new approaches. This led to a 6-month trial of Grander technology in 2003.
The
cooling system is the most important part of the process. The reason is that the tiniest fluctuations in water temperature can negatively affect the entire production process. Our cooling system has to work at 100% efficiency for the entire duration of the production cycle. What happened was that the water was full of brown particles. It was a bit like a brown slimy film. If you dipped your fingers into the water, it always felt a bit oily. In contrast, if you look at the water now, it's clear and looks as though it's come straight from the tap. And all that without the use of any additives or chemicals. The cooling water in our system is now always clear. In general, our water has become much clearer and cleaner. The particles that you used to see floating around in it no longer exist. The whole process has become much more stable. The production systems run more smoothly, with less maintenance and far higher output. Our maintenance intervals have become greatly extended. The product quality is improved, and the entire production process runs more efficiently. As a result, we can now achieve much higher productivity, which of course has a positive impact on our whole business. Mannerschnitten chocolate wafers are famous the world over. This Viennese specialty is almost as well known as the city's cathedral, St. Stephen's. The inventors chose the cathedral as their logo more than 100 years ago. Grander technology and the production of Manner chocolate wafer products have been closely linked since 1992. Manner products range from rum liqueur chocolates to delicious shortbread biscuits and a variety of wafers. For the average customer, the complexity of the technical production process is unimaginable. Engineering technician Helmut Ondracek is one of the pioneers in the use of Grander technology in industry. Here you can see a unit we installed in our water cooling system. The units you see here had previously been operating since 1992 in our Napoli plant in Vienna, up to its relocation. After spending 2 to 3 years on the shelf, they were put back to use again very successfully. Here again, we found that we could drastically reduce the use of chemicals. I was impressed by the fact that the unit's performance did not suffer at all as a result of their time out of use. When we reinstalled them, they worked just as well as before. We were actually quite surprised by that. We can honestly say that we have not seen any reduction in the Grander unit's performance over time. From about 1990, we started to have serious problems with algae in our water cooling systems. We had a company working for us doing some installation work, and the man from the company came up to me and told me that he could offer me a product that needs no power and no chemicals. At first, of course, that sounded a bit unrealistic to an experienced engineer like me. But because we got on well together professionally, he convinced me. So on July 21st, 1992, we installed the first Grander unit at our plant in Vienna. Within 2 weeks, we found that we could stop using chemicals. The payback period of the units was about half a year. But if you take into account what we saved on chemicals, even if you allow for the cost of installation, the payback time is only about 9 months.
Maximal ein Dreivierteljahr haben sich diese Kosten amortisiert durch die Reduktion der Chemikalien.
I have no doubt that this technology works, but I have no idea how it works. Every day, the Sonthofen dairy plant in Germany produces 190,000 liters of milk into butter, various cheeses, and yogurt. Hygiene and cleanliness in and around the tanks are key factors in this industry. However, the company's focus was in minimizing the use of chemicals within the facility. The dairy plant was a pioneer in the industry when it installed Grandeur technology. Before, there was no practical experience available from dairies. The plant measured the system's performance in its own laboratory.
Und wir wollten Verbesserungen erzielen im Bereich Bakteriologie und den Einsparung von.
Our aim was to reduce bacteria and the amount of chemicals, so we looked into using Grandeur technology. We installed the Grandeur equipment in 3 separate areas. The 2 main areas where the Grandeur water was used were the zip washing equipment used for cleaning the tanks and the extensive network of pipes. We succeeded in reducing the use of chemicals by about 40 to 50%, and we were able to reduce our water consumption by 20%. The reduction of water consumption was caused by the increased effectiveness of the Grandeur water in cleaning. I would say Grandeur is a very effective method for industrial use. Depending upon the application, great savings are possible.
Je nach Anwendungsfall gibt es mit Sicherheit sehr große Einsparungsmöglichkeiten.
Huge amounts of water are consumed by heavy industry. The pipes used for cooling the electric arc ovens of the Lietzen Mechanical Engineering plant in Austria were being damaged by the corrosive well water. Leaking pipes had become a fact of life as the water corroded the metal. Chemicals could not be used to solve the problem because of the open nature of the cooling system. After the Grandeur system was installed, water quality was monitored constantly and compared with previous records. We had lots of trouble with corrosion damaging many of our pipes. Now we have pretty much got the problem under control. We had a lot of trouble fixing the leaking pipes. Because the system needs to be constantly cooled, we had to run bypass pipes around all the damaged sections before we could make repairs. I had no preconceived ideas about what the system might achieve. I mean, when you see one of those Grandeur metal boxes, you just can't imagine that they would actually do anything to water. But 1.5 years later, we have a lot fewer damaged pipes, so I'm absolutely certain that it works. We monitored the water quality regularly, and before we installed Grandeur, the iron content in the heating water was 26 milligrams per liter. 2 months later, the iron had come down to only 0.7 milligrams per liter. This was fantastic news and basically solved our corrosion problem. We no longer have any corrosion. What I can say is that things have got much, much better. Of course, we still have to handle problems with existing pipe damage, and we're still renewing pipes at the moment to deal with the old problems. The biggest change has been with the reduction in sludge in the heating system. I'm absolutely convinced that it works. It's what I honestly believe. Even looking at the shower heads, you can see a lot less limescale. The difference is there right in front of your eyes, and best of all, we have lots of detailed records to support our findings.